valuer, Mr. Ayodeji Odeleye, FNIVS.
So if you didn't put that FNIVS, I was going to fight you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, King Gray Real Estate and Real Estate Doctor.
Thank you.
And good morning, everyone.
I'll say, fantastic. So we're going to go on a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to dive right in, and then, of course, go through our headlines.
All right, welcome back. We're still on Real Estate Matters on Super FM 92.7. This is a show where we bring to you conversations around real estate all over the world, and also, very importantly, Nigeria. I'm still your real estate doctor, and I've got my co-host, King Gray. Before we went on the show, we announced that today we're looking at a very important conversation, and that's combating quackery in the real estate sector in Nigeria. This is a very important conversation, knowing that there's a lot going on around our real estate sector in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. We've had issues of unscrupulous estate agents. We've had issues of fraudulent estate agents. Mm-hmm. We've also had issues of unscrupulous landowners, people who pretend to be landowners and sell to innocent people and, swindle them of their hard-earned money.
And even beyond that, we've had cases of murder with fraudulent individuals who present themselves as real estate agents. We've
even had cases of people, drivers, security gate men that will act as owners and collect money and run away. So it's just so much going on, particularly Lagos, knowing that there's an housing deficit, also knowing that we have a 20 million housing deficit. So people are taking advantage of that to swindle people. So let's bring our guests into this conversation. Our guest today is no other person but estate surveyor and valuer Ayodeji Odeleye, FNIVS. FNIVS means Fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, and also the CEO of Odeleye and Company. Yes, that's a very prominent real estate firm. I make bold to say that firm is how old, please?
Will be 40 years next
40
year.
40 years. That's exactly. That firm was established the year I was born. so who am I? Just like somebody said recently, who am I to question what so person is saying?
Talk about pedigree.
Yes,
history.
40 years. That's like 4 decades. That's a lot of milestone. So. Estate surveyor Ayodeji Odeleye is also the vice president, International Real Estate Federation, FIAPSI. He's a man of many feathers. He's also the vice chairman, Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Lagos State Branch, and many other titles. So today, this conversation is very, very important for me because a lot of our listeners want to be part of this conversation. Also, don't forget that you can join us by calling the studio line on 070-569-00927. I'll take that number one more time, 070-569-00927. That's the number to call to contribute on the show. Tell us your experience with estate agents in Lagos State. No, in fact, in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
because it's not
that
really
case
Lagos
that I said
quacks.
where there was a case of murder, that happened in Bayelsa State, I believe.
Wow.
Yes.
A man presenting himself as a real estate agent.
I saw that, and I think that case, they killed the agent involved.
Yes, that's the
news.
real agent that was involved. Unfortunately, I think based on his relationship with the fraudulent agent, vouched that this other person is an agent. And then when he started asking questions, asking for due diligence, which every agent, no matter how close you are, at some point you now start to ask, even if it's your brother, okay, where are the documents, where are the papers? And then this other fraudulent agent now lured the real estate agent, who was like, I think the president or the vice president of real estate agents in Bayelsa State, lured him to the property, the supposed property, and shot him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I saw that news, and it was a very gory news.
It was a very, very tragic and unfortunate situation.
Aside, I think very importantly, one of the before our speaker comes on the mic, some of the things that causes that has led us to quackery in this part of the world. We have weak regulatory enforcement. We have low public awareness. We have high unemployment. Everybody now is a realtor. Everybody now is an agent. So, but I'd like to bring our guests into this conversation. So please, estate surveyor and valuer Odeleye, please tell us how do you think we got to this stage that we have, where the real estate practice has now become an all-comers affair, where every Tom, Dick, and Harry is now an agent, and they are causing a lot of havoc. in society.
Thank you once again for inviting me.
Yes,
and when Ray was giving the introduction earlier, she mentioned that quacks are those that are unqualified, unregistered, and they just do this on fraudulent activities in the industry.
Yes.
Thereby painting even the professionals, the key people, in a very, very terrible light. But the first thing that I believe is making this quackery thrive in Nigeria is the issue of low or no barrier of entry into that space. We've mentioned here that even a gate man, a driver, can just pick up, he can just go and print a business card one day and say, I'm an estate agent. Do you understand? Yes. So there is nothing really enforcing or preventing anyone, from calling themselves an estate agent. And thank God, myself and Ray and some people in Nigeria, we are part of this National Association of Realtors, in the US. For you to be an NAR member, you need to have undergone some trainings, licensing and certifications. So, that gives you a level of confidence that, okay, yes, before I go into this practice, I need to understand one thing or the other. The other issue I also observe is that, can I call it public ignorance one way or the other? Ignorance. But for me, in some cases, we always say that there are some uneducated, ignorant people. Yeah. So I can say a lot of people are educated, but they are so ignorant about the real estate practice. And I believe that a lot of our listeners, a lot of people that are interested in doing real estate business, they need to start getting themselves educated about what they need to do, asking the kind of questions they need to ask when they are going into the real estate business. The third thing I would say is that desperation in the market. We've seen the glut. We've seen that, the demand is huge. And it's not meeting up with the supply. And that has really, we call ourselves land economists. It has really affected the pricing. Yes, this morning I was speaking with someone in a particular location in Lagos. I thought 3-bedroom flats would be so amount. The person said, no, you can't get it unless you're paying X amount. I said, wow. And so a lot of people are desperate to say, the moment they start hearing, for using that illustration again, for a 3-bedroom, I can get it for a lower amount. They will run for it. They'll be desperate for it. And by so doing, not ask or do necessary due diligence, and they will just fall into wrong hands. The fourth point I would say is that because this is very, very holistic, it spans from the point where you are acquiring, where land administration is involved, you verifying the title documents and other things. We have a complex land administration system in Nigeria. It is so complex and expensive for you to do. And that's one way or the other. So people want to, just cut corners and say, instead of me paying the official rate and I'll wait for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, let me just pay this, and you fall into the wrong hands. And the last point I would say is weak enforcement.
Weak enforcement.
We have laws.
I think that's the bane of the conversation.
Yes.
No consequences.
Weak enforcement. Thank you. And no consequences. So a lot of people get away with so many things. So far they have politicians or people in high places. Do you understand? And even when they are caught or they are penalized, maybe they are told to pay something, a peanut in return after fraudulently taking millions of naira from individuals.
There was a recent case of a certain man. The man is a driver to a certain person. He pretended to be the owner of the house, collected rent from a certain woman that was staying outside Lagos at that time. The woman got transferred from her job to Lagos. So the owner of the house lives abroad. This driver in disguise collected rent as if he was a landlord.
The owner of the property.
As he collected rent about almost 5 minutes, somewhere in Ikeja, this driver bolted. Let me use that word, bolted. And when this woman moved to Lagos with her loads and everything, I was about to move in. That's when people told her, whoever you paid to, he was the driver. He's not the owner of the house. Till today, that driver is nowhere to be found. We also have cases of even registered complaints that will say that their property, real estate firms that will swindle people just with the sake of just buying one land somewhere, just doing fence and putting one name, and that is, and we've seen that in recent times.
We've seen that happen
where people will come out online to call them out for not allocating to them. So it's not just about real estate agents, even registered companies too, fraud people, and this is very, very sad because it is kind of discouraging. It's going to be discouraging, foreign investors from even bringing their money to this country because they don't even know who to trust. Yeah, that's why we like. I want you to talk about the implementation of the LASFRERA, that's the Real Estate Regulatory Authority in Lagos State. That Lagos State government thought that enough is enough. I want you to shed more light about that. What do you think? Do you think that
Thank you. To be honest, any opportunity I've had, talking about LASFRERA, I've always given kudos to Lagos State government for coming up with that idea. But please let me start with this to say we have a regulatory body.
Yes.
That was, empowered, established by an act.
Yes, that's ESVABON, right?
Yes, that's ESVABON in the Federation. That's Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria. That body has the power to regulate the real estate practice. But because of some of their shortcomings, they don't have enough resources to be able to enforce. They don't have the manpower and so on and so forth. So they have not been so efficient. But kudos to them for what they've done so far. And now going back to what Lagos State government has done, establishing LASFRERA, it's a right step in the right direction. Yes, because it would help limit one way or the other, the practices of these quacks. Although I've always said that they need to continue to collaborate and engage professional bodies, like Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers and Association of Estate Agents in Nigeria, AN, and other bodies. But now, going back to LASFRERA, the moment I'll give you my own story. When LASFRERA was still LASETRAD, a client just called me and said, "Oh, I saw your name. I saw the name of your company online." I said, "How?" He said, "Lagos State website." Where? I'm not. I didn't pay anything to Lagos State government. But meanwhile, I've registered with LASETRAD as at that point in time. And I went to look at it, and I said, "Oh, really? This is a good thing." Someone that person was not in Nigeria.
But they went to that platform.
They went to that website and they saw it. And that gives credence to what we are doing as professionals. And so for the public, it is a good thing for you to be able to verify any agent that you want to do business with before you embark on that transaction.
Because we have a big issue with trust in Nigeria. And it's these kind of platforms, these kind of your portals are good tools that we can use even as professionals among ourselves to know the history of an individual and to know the capacity of that person.
So continue on that. We know in developing countries, or in developed countries rather, there are things that you need to do before you can become a broker. Or an agent. And it's state dependent. So, for instance, in the US, if you are in Texas, if you have taken the license for brokerage or agency in Texas, you can't go and practice in Philadelphia. You can't go and practice in other states. And this is what LASFRERA is bringing.
Sorry to button. Let's take this call. Yes, morning, please. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call.
I think we lost that.
Okay.
All right.
All
right. So,
sorry.
Okay.
Yes, morning, please. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, real estate doctor Antonia from Ojo.
Antonia, you need no introduction on this show anymore. I was going to call your name before you even mentioned your name. Thank you.
Yes, but I want to ask a question.
Yes, please.
If an occupant wants to leave a particular place, just peacefully without any quarrel, how would the person leave the place?
Okay, if you are renting a place and you want to sublease to somebody else.
No, I think you want to lease or you want to leave?
I want to leave.
So sublease.
No, as in to leave finally to.
To pack out.
To leave out. To vacate the place. Okay.
How do I tell? Is it possible I tell the owner or I just leave them?
Okay, so let me tell you. So if you go back to the genesis of that agreement with your landlord, if you want to leave an apartment, it is the law mandates you to give your landlord 6 months 6 month notice ahead. So if your landlord wants you to leave, it will give you 6 month notice to leave.
Yes.
If you also want to leave, you notify your landlord 6 months in advance that, by the end of this tenancy or in 6 months' time, I don't want to renew my lease. I want to leave.
3 months also suffices.
So you can do 6 months. You can do the reason why people advise that you do 6 months notice in advance. It gives the landlord sufficient time to also give you the proper 6 months quit notice, statutory quit notice to leave. So there will not be issue of you didn't give me adequate notice because by law, the law states that either parties must notify each other. Yes, thank you. Don't worry, I want to watch out today, Antonia. Please call me after the show, please. Thank you. All right, please.
All right, so going to the conversation on Lasera. So, and I believe Lasera should grow into that, becoming that board that
each
would
state
license.
is supposed to have something like what you're talking about.
Technically, but I'll still say this because I'm an estate surveyor in Badua. It should be there should be like the handshake between Esvabon and the state government.
Yes.
To be honest, the way thinking off my head now, it should be Esvabon that should be championing this.
I agree with you
at the state level.
Esvabon, don't they have their states champions within each state that help?
I said they don't have resources.
It's a very interesting conversation. Let's take more calls. Yes, Money, please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, I think we lost that call. So the number to call once again is 07056900927. You can also call us on 08025027711. That's the number to call. Let's know your experience with estate agents, fraudulent real estate companies who think that they can swindle you off your hard-earned money. And, hopefully we're able to address those issues on this show, and the appropriate authorities can listen and, look for solutions. Let's take this call. Yes, Money, please. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
Yes, please. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Colin calling from Ago.
Okay, please. How do you want to contribute on the show?
Hello?
Yes, please. All right, please. Can we
All
continue?
right. So I'm saying Lasera should, grow into that. I know the fear a lot of people have, trying to kick against what Lagos State government is doing with Lasera is the tax issue that, the moment I register with Lasera, they'll start taxing me. They would, do you understand? But for me, we should look at the good side.
The good side, yes.
Yes, and we should be positive citizens. We should be, what's it called? Citizens that are willing to even pay tax, regardless of what the government, what they do with it. But so, going back to the question on how Lasera would help with this quackery, it would help a lot. It would help build trust in the system. The data that we need, we've been complaining about in the sector that, we don't have enough data. Anyone that wants to, I was also privileged to be part of the press conference that the EGIS essay to Lagos State government on EGIS did on Monday. That was 2 days ago. And I was so shocked that, Lagos State is doing this much. There is a system where LAPCA, the LASPA, also Fiscal Planning Authority, they have an online system where you can verify whether a building has an approval or not, an approval or a permit to be erected. And guess what? They are linking that portal with to Lasera. So Lasera, once you go on Lasera website, you can just search, does this building that I want to buy have building approval? Yes, and it will tell you
and
yes
that's very,
or no.
very important.
And that's what we are saying.
Especially with the collapsing buildings and
technology,
all those
leveraging technology and ensuring that. So quackery will soon be a thing of the past, but we need to have that concerted effort among all the authorities and associations, all the stakeholders, for us to be able to do that.
So let me ask a very vital question also. So for a lot of our listeners and for Nigerians who want to do genuine real estate transactions in real estate, and what are the things that you think that they should look out for when trying to identify qualified estate agents to deal with? If you know what I mean. For people who want to rent, for people who want to buy properties, because the main reason why people fall scam of real estate is when they don't even know the right person, or when they cannot even identify a professional from a quack. Some people are quacks, but they dress better and wear very beautiful suits
And some
more than
quacks don't
professional.
even
not
know
about
that
suits.
they are
You
quacks.
don't know a professional not by suit.
And
Exactly.
there's some quacks
So
who
what are the
don't even know that
certifications
they
to
are
ask
quacks.
for to know that this person is a professional?
Yes.
And when this person misbehaves, I know where to go and report him to.
Exactly.
That's the first way to go,
And
because I can tell you that the population of quacks that we have in Nigeria are more than the professionals.
Of course.
Definitely.
Because quacks can be anybody. They can be you can have 5,000 professionals and you have like 20,000 quacks. That's the truth. Because quacks are large in number, because they don't. It can be it can be a vulcanizer, it can be a tailor who just feels that I need a separate stream of income. Let me start to do real estate.
That's it.
And that's what happens in Lekki. Everybody in Lekki now is a realtor.
Yeah.
You'll not be wondering
Real estate
who made you a realtor? Which school did you go
Exactly.
Yeah.
Real estate doctor. In the National Association of Realtors
Yes.
database, I think we have about 4,000 registered realtors, NAR, right?
NAR.
Yeah.
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria, yes.
However, every other person will say, I'm a realtor. And you're like, oh, really? What's your NAR number? And they're looking at you like, I don't have one. Then you're not a realtor. You're an agent. So identify yourself properly.
Yes. So
right?
that's because when somebody is a professional, the most important benefit it gives the consumer of service from that person is this person has a tail.
Yes.
You have somebody you can look for them when they misbehave.
You can vet them.
You can vet them. You can go and report them to an association or authority when they misbehave.
Yeah.
But if somebody is not a professional, that person is a freelance. There's no way to. In fact, they don't even have. And now let me tell you, quacks. Most of the quacks around now, they have the best offices. When you go there,
Oh
they
my
drive
God.
the best cars. You see them in Range Rovers. This person is not certified.
And then some people, because they've done training, fine,
and because that's how to work on Nigerian psyche. Once they see you with a nice car and they see that you're packaged, this person is established. He cannot be a quack. My brother, he can be a quack.
Oh my God.
And some people, they get certificated. Doing a certificated course is good. They have a lot of programs in Lagos State for real estate professionals.
Yes.
When you get your certificate and you
Yes.
do your training, now go and register with the appropriate body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Like, okay, yes, you've done your training with, we have some very standard real estate training bodies in Lagos State.
Yes.
Even in Nigeria,
institutions,
right?
yeah.
Institutions. And then you go and do the training. Afterwards, you get your certificate. Beautiful. Now, go and register as don't just acquire the name. You've gotten your training from Lagos real estate, this. Now you are a realtor. No, you're not a realtor. Please calm down.
Very, very
We are having many calls, but how do you identify a quack with a
Okay, so the
yes.
first thing I would say is, we've mentioned S-Vabon severally
Yes.
on this call. The first thing you should do is ask for their registration number, S-Vabon registration number. If the person is not registered with S-Vabon, ask for their NIES, Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers number. By the time it is mandatory now. By the time the tenancy law comes in, Lasrera, ask for their Lasrera registration number. Yes. Before you start dealing with them, like you've mentioned, it's not about the way they dress or their offices. They can take you to their, and meanwhile, all those things are staged.
It's just
Staged.
Yes.
All staged now, and we need to tie that registration, because I might be registered in 1980 something and I have not been renewing my registration, or I've not been doing CPDs.
Yes.
Most of these associations would also encourage them that those renewals should be done annually, and it should be tied to the continuous professional development that those professionals are undergoing or they have done. They are, we were part of Summit 7.0, and we were talking about building trust and driving excellence.
Yes.
And it was a power-packed event.
It was
a rich event. So for people out there, ensure that you have those numbers. Now, the other thing I also mentioned is
an
their CAC. NAR number. Let me mention NAR.
Anybody can register CAC.
Anybody can register CAC.
I don't even think CAC as a way of verifying it. That's my opinion, my personal opinion. Because let me tell you, the way CAC works, CAC, people,
especially with business
people register businesses and at the end do something else with that certificate.
True.
Yeah.
And I don't even think CAC carry out any verification on the business to come and know if the person has an established office before they give a certificate.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of weakness on the part of CAC, and they need to be more
because
more
we
strengthened.
have some people who practice as doctors with CAC this thing
Certificates,
when they are not
doctors.
Yeah.
All right. So, but
I think this person has been trying to call. Let's give this person.
Pick up.
Yes, please. Morning,
Hello,
please. Tell us
good
your name
morning.
and where you're calling from.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes, please. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, I'm calling from the Quackery.
All right, thank you. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Peter.
Peter. All right, go ahead.
Your nature of business is so. It's how will I say it? It has a whole lot to do with trust.
Trust, yeah.
True.
Yeah. So what I want to find out is, are you in a position to procure land for somebody, for people, your clients?
Yeah, well, I'm an estate surveyor and valuer by profession. My co-host is also a realtor, so the guest speaker is also so of course that's what we do for a living. So I can give you my number. Do you have my direct number, Peter? The number that you call after the show? Yes, please. We can talk about that after the show.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Yes. All right, please go ahead.
All right. So the other point, I wanted to mention something about the CSE.
The CSE, yes.
You know, there's a new thing that CSE is doing now.
Yes.
If you've not been doing your annual returns,
yes,
they will shut down your registration.
Yes, they'll suspend it. Yes.
Yeah, they'll suspend it. So, how many quacks? Well, I'll just say this, not being ignorant.
Yes.
How many quacks do you think are so meticulous and will be ready to be doing the
filing their annual
return? But let's assume they are. Remember, I've mentioned Esvabon, Naives, Lastrera.
Yes.
Now, there are CACs just for you to verify. Sometimes we also do it in my own office to check. A company comes to me and say, "Oh, I want to buy a property, or I want to lease a property from you." I check their CAC. If the people, the stakeholders or the shareholders on CAC is different from the names they are giving me, I won't give them the property. Because it works both ways.
Yes. And because people don't even check, on CSC, when you register CSC, you register the type of businesses you want to be, services you want to be rendering.
Yes.
So people don't really have access to your CSC certificate to know if you are qualified to be rendering. For example, if I register, let me say emergency and co, for example. Nobody sees my sales certificate to know if that emergency and co is only to sell pepper and not to do real estate.
No, there are deeper searches that you can do.
There are searches, but
there are deeper searches
ignorantly people don't. So I think it's just on the part of the person requesting for that service to do a background check on that person you want to transact with. I was going to buy a property from a certain developer in Ekota like 2 years ago, last year precisely. This guy has built more than 50 houses in Ekota. He has no office, no single office for him to receive visitors. And this guy was going to collect a check of 200 million from my hand, and he told me to meet him on the site. I said, no, I can't meet you on the site. You don't have an office. He took me to one office that he said he had. Meanwhile, that office is a site that he has sold out. It's a building that he has, like a phase one of his estate that he has. I said, let's go to your office now. He said, I've sold out everything. So why are you bringing me? And he still has a signboard there.
Oh my.
I said, I insisted that I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to drop this check because this check is not mine. It's for a client. Until I now insisted that let me know your house. He was in his living room that I exchanged a check with him.
Wow.
Guess what? For him to now deliver that project was a problem. There was nowhere to look for this guy. I now remember that I went to this guy's house now. That was the way we went to get him arrested.
Can you imagine?
He was not delivering that project. It was a mess. He changed all his phone numbers. Lekki. This Lekki is a fraud. Lekki is a fraud. I'm not even going to lie to you, man. Sorry? All right, so,
have another call.
Let's take this call before we go on the break.
Hello. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Ibuka. I'm calling from in college.
We can't hear you.
All right, please. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Thank you.
Real Estate Matters. I am King Gray Realtor, and you're still tuned into Real Estate Matters on Super FM. Okay, so before we jump and continue our conversation, because we've had a very exciting conversation so far on quacks, steps, and requirements for real estate profession. We're just going to go through the headlines, so some of the real estate related headlines. LASG moves to check illegal, unapproved structures, collapsed buildings through CAP. So the Lagos State government has commenced the Certificate Accreditors Program, through which members of the public are expected to alert the Lagos State Building Control Agency, LASBCA, and other regulatory agencies about ongoing buildings in their communities. So now people get to become the whistleblowers for there's a new project. Let Lagos State investigate and look into it. And I think that's a very good initiative.
Absolutely. Very good.
Uroshoki, yes, Lagos State government registers 100 more property owners for compensation. I know we had this conversation last week. The Lagos State government has commenced another round of enumeration for residents affected by the Oroshoki demolition exercise. The exercise held on Monday was conducted by the Lagos State Urban Renewal Agency at the Oloworo Palace in Oroshoki, Kosofe local government area. The latest phase targeted residents who were not captured in the initial round of enumeration and compensation. Also, there was a tragic incident that happened in Edo State. Petrol tank falls and burns and affects residents within the Ogehi Junction, Sapele Road area. A petrol tank caught fire on Saturday night at the Ogehi Junction, Sapele Road, after falling due to a bad spot. Very tragic.
Very sad, yeah.
Due to a bad spot on the road, and it engulfed a lot of properties in the area. And residents came out to try to help with the issue.
That's why a person like me, I don't subscribe to. I don't really fancy having a property on a major road.
Along the express road. Right?
Even though it's economically more viable.
Yes, exactly.
My life is more important than money. Yeah, where we have trailers flying up and down like birds without brakes, and you be sleeping in one trailer will enter your bedroom.
Then National Housing Data Center for December launch. The federal government has announced plans to make the National Housing Data Center, that's NHDC, fully operational by December 2025.
Wow.
I know. In a move expected to transform Nigeria's housing and real estate policy landscape through accurate and evidence-based data. The initiative aims to harmonize housing statistics across the country and track progress in addressing the housing deficit. I think that's another
excellent,
good step.
There's just so much going on in the real estate sector. Yes, the real estate sector is a very interesting sector, no doubt, because it's a very let me put it, a very important sector to everybody. Whether you like it or not, you're living somewhere, you work from somewhere, you sleep somewhere. So whatever you're doing it on real estate. Even if you're selling by the roadside, you're still doing that space you're using. It's still real estate. So let's bring our guests into this conversation because our time is fast spent. I want to hear your take on, again, our guest on this, in the studio is still Estate Surveyor and Valuer. Ayodeji Odele, a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. And I make bold to say that he's the youngest fellow of the institution. That's why we call him the youngest fellow. I mean, he's somebody who has achieved, he's somebody who has paid his dues, and is the vice chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Lagos State branch. And he's also the vice president, International Real Estate Federation, FIAPSI. So let's get your take on this ongoing Iyanawuro demolition. For me, in the past 1 month, 2 months, Iyanawuro has been trending for all the bad reasons. And it's very sad because that's an area where vulnerable people are living. People who are still managing their lives.
People within a certain financial bracket.
No, the low-income earners. It's not even financial. Leave that English. They are the poor people, low-income earners, people who cannot even afford 3 square meals, and that's sad. I saw videos of people protesting, because they were really angry. So let's get your take on this action by Lagos State government, if you think is fair, and if you think that the compensation they've been given. I saw that some people were giving 5 million, some were giving 3 million. I wonder how many bags of cement I can even buy with 3 million in this time and age.
No,
it's 5 and 3 million. I'm following this news closely. It's 5 and 3 million, depending on your property.
Depending. All right. So I mentioned that on Monday I attended a press conference.
Yes, please.
Which was majorly about the cap. The first item of the news that you mentioned there. That's the what's it called?
That's the Iyanawuro?
No, not the Iyanawuro now. The accreditors.
Accreditors, okay.
Program,
okay.
Certified accreditors program. Yes, that's the cap. Yes. So now, regarding the Iyanawuro, I can tell you that what the Lagos State government is doing is for the good of everyone.
Okay. How so?
I'm not saying this to undermine or to as if I'm not.
The people of Iyanawuro will not agree with you. Listen to you, will not agree with you.
I'm sympathetic to them, but you need to understand that most of these exercises, it takes years for them to do. Yes, there are so many accusations flying left, right, and center saying, "Oh, we were not informed."
Yes.
But the state government said they have evidence to show that they've been engaging those settlers, the community.
Yes.
And they have the evidence.
Yes.
Now, and it might take them. See, I always tell people, if you want to buy any property, please, first thing you do is go and check the survey plan.
Yes.
At the Surveyor General's office. And the next thing is go to lands registry.
Yes.
Now, if those settlers have done these two things, they would have known that in the future. Jokingly, I was talking with someone that along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, there's still this master plan that there will be a rail line there. And someone said, "Oh, when will they do it?" I said, even if it is in 20 years' time, when the government wakes up, they will do it. Now, so Oworo has been earmarked for urban regeneration years ago, just like Obalende. But people are not shouting about Obalende. There were some demolitions that happened at Obalende.
Yes.
There are some. As at that Monday, they mentioned over 27 locations that have been earmarked for urban regeneration.
Yeah, where?
In Lagos.
In Lagos. Okay.
Yes, I can't remember all the names now.
Even Costain is supposed to have something.
There are some. And it will take a while for them to get to those other areas. But Oworo is where they are now. But I can tell you that every affected person are compensated. Now, there are rules and processes for compensation.
Yes.
It is the unexhausted interest that you have that they compensate. Yes, you've mentioned that 5 million, 3 million might not buy how many bags of cement.
Yes.
But they would have done their analysis and assessment and say, "Oh, this is what you have on the land, and this is what we are compensating you for." And guess what? Some of them don't even have the permit or the right, the approval to even
for the
build
buildings that they build
on those lands.
So for me, let me say this, sir. I agree with what you have said, and I know that Lagos State government is coming from a good point of view.
Yeah,
they want to regenerate that area and sort of modernize it and make it look good. And at the long run, it's going to benefit everybody in that environment because businesses will grow, everything will grow.
Yeah.
Land value will increase.
Land values will increase there. But my take is, what are the other plans that was made for these people before they started demolition? In advanced countries, when the government wants to embark on exercise like this, they have shelters
like
where they place these people.
Yes.
But these people were displaced without nowhere to go. Without nowhere to go. And that's why we're still talking about 20 million housing deficit in the whole of Nigeria. We're talking about building low-cost housing. The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, since he assumed office, has done about 24 housing estates. Those 24 housing estates has a total of 6,215 units. Only. The first executive governor of Lagos State, Chief Lateef Jakonde, did only 4 years in office from 1979 to 1983. He did a total of 16 housing estates. 16 housing estates. That has a total of 30,000 housing units. No governor in the whole of Nigeria has beat that record. 30,000. So you can imagine 30,000 to 6,000. We have one of these estates. We have Amuwo housing estate, over 2,000 units. We have Epe housing estate, over 2,000 units. No, let me tell you.
It was expensive.
It
was expensive.
It was expensive then too. But this man just had a vision, and he understood that housing is very critical.
Yes.
If all of us came from home today now, imagine that we don't have anywhere to go after this show. I'm sure my guest speaker will not even be in the right frame of mind to even speak any grammar here if he has nowhere to go after this show, called home, in quotes. So it's just so much that it's a need. It's a social need that everybody.
We should be
as soon as it's getting dark now, the next thing on your mind is home.
Where will you sleep?
So imagine somebody who has no place to go, and you want him to function properly at work. He's going to be in the society. He cannot even relate to whatever you're saying. So that's why that man Lateef Jakonde will continue to be remembered forever. Nobody has beat that record, and that's why we're calling on the governors, all our governors in all the 36 states, provide social housing for people. Housing is a critical sector that, as a governor, if you deliver in that sector, I tell you that you've delivered almost 50% of your mandate.
Just to contribute to what you said, it's not just about providing the housing, because what you find is that some individuals invest in those housing and increase the cost of those properties. So some individuals
invest and increase.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's say you are selling shop outlets in Tejo Show markets now.
Yes.
The government has created an avenue for it to be at a certain price.
Yes.
Very reasonable.
So some buy and resell.
Some will now go purchase at a large at that
reduced price,
reduced rate, and then increase the rate.
Those are investors now. They invested. Let's take this. We have 2 calls. Let's speak this. Money, please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Emmanuel.
All right, please. Go ahead, please. All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you are focused so well on your vice president of the expert union.
Yes.
Focused so well.
Yes, thank you.
But there's something the public have to know.
Yes.
If government have a mark anywhere as a government reserve area,
yes,
whether it's 20, 30, 50 years, anytime government is ready, government will move it.
Yes.
And there's nothing anybody can do.
Yes.
And if government is paying compensation to anybody, there's a way government goes about it. It is not what people think that maybe because you put up a bidding of 30 million, the government must pay 30 million. No. Government embark on measurement of per square or per
I'm going to ask our guest speaker, what do the government even compensate for? Is it the land or the structure?
No, but that's what Mr. Emmanuel
is saying.
He's saying is the land.
That is the land.
The land.
Yeah. Because they measure.
So if I have a building worth 20 billion on it,
the
government will compensate me.
No. So far you do not have a CFO.
A CFO. Yes, please. All right, point taking, Mr. Emmanuel. Just continue to listen to us. Our time is fast spent. You've also won our voucher. Thank you. Let's take this call again. Money, please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, real estate doctor. Is Antonia calling back?
Okay, Antonia. Okay,
please, I want to know if Mushi or Shomolu local government area is included in this urban regeneration stuff.
Okay, we'll find out and just
continue
to listen here. I don't think I've heard anything about Mushi. I'm not sure.
I know Costain is currently going through something as of I think last week, or there was some demolition of the shanties and all those shack buildings in Costain area, and some business owners were crying and lamenting that they were affected.
So the government agency in charge of the renewal is Lasura. So what I would ask Antonia to do is visit Lasura, either their website or place a call to them to confirm which
talking about our website, all these websites and places to confirm online. Are they really active?
Oh yes.
You know, I've been trying to file my annual return for CAC for the past 3 months. Their website has been down.
No. So CAC portal, I think they did like a restructuring. So
yes, but it's taking forever.
Several issues.
Yes.
Right.
So
now,
that's one of the reasons why people cannot readily access information online. And that's where these scammers find a way to penetrate. Yes.
Thank you.
When they know that there's no place online to go, go to Alausana. By the time Antonia leaves or John now and gets to Alausa, is a day journey. So please, that's where
there's a point you raised about resettlement.
Yes, please.
Yes. While I am not holding any brief for anyone.
Yes.
I can also not say whether they've done any plan regarding resettlement of those people in Oworo. But I can tell you that when the government is planning something, there is always that stakeholders engagement. And where resettlement is needed, they would always do it. We have cases. Surulere was a resettlement town.
Yeah.
Yes, and up to now,
even Morocco.
They ought to have they ought to have they ought to have redeveloped Surulere, but now those people are still there.
So that means that they might still circle back to that, no?
Yeah.
So the government
wakes up. Plan.
So I think the government sleeps sometimes. So as soon as they wake up,
plus which is another thing.
As soon as they wake up, everybody becomes.
Some professionals, they are concerned with registering on some of this portal. It's not even about the tax. It's about what happens if this is I don't want to say a regime, a government restrict empowered thing. So right now it's it's a particular party in power, right? Yeah. And they are the ones that are financing and spearheading these initiatives. Beautiful initiatives. So what happens when there's a change in that? right? That's what some people are concerned about. So when there's a new government now, there's a new governor. The governor shelves real estate, and maybe his focus is something else. What then happens to that body that we've all registered on and we've all put money in? What you even find is that sometimes they will now come back to you and say, okay, we are coming up with a new initiative, and you're like, oh, what about the other one that I registered on? It's like, oh no, you come and register on this other one. So that's what some professionals are concerned about.
Well, very true, and I'll relate to that. Pointing out for Lasrera, I mentioned it was initially Lacetrad.
Yeah.
But now it was
re-engineered
and
it was reestablished
to Lasrera. But the difference now is that Lasrera has a law backing it.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm not saying it's not difficult for any governor or any political party coming in to cancel any or set aside any law.
Yes.
But I'm saying that it's sometimes very difficult, and that's where institutions like NAIS,
and
FAFC, and Esvabon,
they're on the national level.
Yes, advocacy, for us to continue to ensure that we make them accountable to us. Yeah.
So, our phone lines have been buzzing, but I think it's also very important that we drive home these conversations thoroughly in the studio.
Yes.
Let's take this call. Yes, morning, please. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, good morning.
Yes, please.
Doctor, and your guest at the studio.
Yes,
and also Kingway.
All right, thank
I
you.
want to speak on the issue of the quack and the regulations, right?
Yes, please.
One thing we observe, especially in this part of the world, is that when they come up with these new regulations on government, they start with a very good note, but eventually they end up becoming like just revenue generation
for the government.
That's true.
I agree.
Right? So they don't serve that core purpose of regulation. Eventually, something like maybe the idea of maybe a last mile, for instance.
Yes.
It used to be supposed to be maybe preventive, right? Preventing
accidents and all that.
Protecting road users.
They now have the incentive now to wait for those things to happen first before they go ahead and charge the defaulters to make money. So they may now see that as a means of generating more revenue over the primary aim of setting this regulation.
That's well said. Yes.
Those bodies themselves could actually self-regulate if they are professionals within the body. Something like Reader, for instance, within themselves they regulate the developers because they know that any defaulter messes up the entire industry. So they hold themselves accountable within Reader. So I think
so let's just say point taking, please just continue to listen to us. I think what happens is when they establish these agencies, they establish them for the main purpose of solving problems or preventing problems.
Yes.
Maybe over time the government now becomes overwhelmed and say, "Oh, you guys are on your own. Go and source your funding by yourself." That's when those people now change you now see them trying to enforce and looking for ways to generate funds for their agencies to sustain. And I think that's totally wrong.
That's something of concern.
And it's something of concern. I strongly agree. So our time is running fast. We have about 3 minutes to spend in the studio. Let me get your final take on this, generally on Quackery, your final take to our listeners on how to prevent them from falling victim of real estate, fraudulent real estate agents, and also your parting words to the government on part of how to reduce the issue of Quackery.
All right, so okay, thank you so much. For the general public, I would recommend that questions are asked.
Yes.
When I was driving down here, I said I'll give this illustration of you want to get married to a lady.
Yeah.
You don't just speak.
Yes.
You analyze.
Analyze, yes.
So I wonder why some people want to drop almost 200 million naira, 500 million naira, and they don't ask questions.
They don't even want to pay professionals that will do the questioning for them.
They
don't want to pay even if it's 500,000 and you want to pay 500 million.
Do you understand? So ask questions. Use the right professionals.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't believe you can do it all by yourself. And the amount you are paying these professionals, they see it as an investment for your own investment safety.
Yeah.
Yes.
See it as
security for that your investment.
For your investment.
Yes.
And now to the government, what I would recommend is that the government needs to continue to advance technology in what they are doing. Yes. We've given kudos to Lagos State government.
Yes.
Other state governments need to sit up on this, ensuring that all these things. Yes, for instance, in Lagos, they did a software for you for you to be able to do your search. But for the past 3 months or so, the software crashed.
Wow.
So they need to invest more money on that. Singapore is a good example of how a good land administration system can be done.
Yes.
And they've digitized all these things.
Everything.
Australia, you ensure that Australia ensures that before any professional comes to do any business in the real estate sector, they've done their continuous professional development. So now government also needs to work with all these bodies. Now I'll just quickly want to touch on one caller said about Redan.
Yes.
It's always difficult for all these individual bodies to self-regulate themselves. Yes, it's a good thing, but when the government now, most of these issues falls back to the government, and it paints them in a bad light. Now, so the government now sees the need for us to unify all these bodies, bring them together, and have their representatives on the board of this authority, thereby making them effective in whatever they want to do. So that would be my parting word, that government should ensure that they continue to progress, implement technology-based solutions that would help people to be able to verify their data, access whatever information they want to do, for them not to fall. And lastly, make it cheap. Yes,
affordability is very important.
It's very, very important.
Very important.
Wealth of the Nation. There's a book called Wealth of the Nation, and talking about how you can use land. Yes, we call land in Lagos State as the oil of Lagos State, but we still have so much more that can be done. Yes, to create
absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Ayode Jodele, for guesting on the show today. You've been very wholesome. I think I need to get the parting words from Ray, then we can step out from the studio.
Today's topic is something that a lot of us are very invested in. It's not just realtors or real estate agents. We also have property managers that abuse their position. Some that are unlicensed property managers but claim to be, and then they give charges like what do you call it, service charge cost, and say you are paying 2 million. Meanwhile, the money they don't even know what to use the money on. They just collect these monies and put it in their pocket, and when actual issues come up, they don't know what to do. So the importance of ensuring that you are working and engaging a professional cannot be overemphasized. It cannot be overemphasized, and it's good to know that Lagos State is bringing bodies that we can all go to verify. But it's now for other states to also start to come up with those sort of initiatives and have them running, so that all of us, both professionals and individuals, can connect to it. Nigerians have trust issues. We can't blame us.
Yes. Yes. So there you go. So this is where we draw our curtains for today's program. I'm still your real estate doctor. Till we come your way, same time next week. Stay blessed. Thank you.